Good morning, guys. Today is Vietnam bike touring day number 2. So we're just getting ready to start our ride. We did a quick little ride to a local convenience store, stocked up on some drinks, got some Snickers, some other snacks to use on the ride. We're riding deep into the mountains today, so I'm really not sure how many places we'll have to stop. We also grabbed a quick breakfast, some banh mi, an egg sandwich. So we're about to get started. Everything has been going really smoothly with the bikes, and here's my bike. So luckily everything seems to be working fine. We haven't had any problems, and it's another long day today, a big day of climbing, 2,000 meters today.
Yeah.
You pretty excited for climbing day?
I will die.
You'll die.
Yeah, I will die.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Let's go.
So here's a little taste already of what's to come today. We're turning away from the coast, heading into the mountains. So for day 2, we're cycling from the southern part of Quang Ngai over into Mang Den, which is a pretty new, kind of developing, popular mountain town. Really small, so it's kind of like Dalat before it became overdeveloped. And actually, the first half of today's ride, we're riding 110 kilometers today. So the first 50K, the first half of today's ride will be mostly flat with just a few little rollers. And then after the halfway point, we're starting a huge climb. I believe it's gonna be about a 1,000-meter climb for the main climb. And then we'll have a few other rollers as well. So total climbing today should be about 2,000 meters. It's gonna be a tough day. It's also really hot again today. Unfortunately, we started at about the same time as yesterday, about 9 o'clock, but we should make some better progress today because we already ate breakfast, whereas yesterday we stopped for an hour for breakfast during the ride. But yeah, the cycle computer is already showing 34 degrees Celsius, and it's probably going to be just about as hot as yesterday, but we do have a few clouds up ahead, so hopefully we'll get some cloud cover for a bit of today's ride, and hopefully the temperatures will cool down a little bit as we get into the mountains. That's the one thing that's really fun about cycle touring here in Vietnam is people are super friendly. We've been getting waved at and cheered on like a bunch during the ride, which is really cool to see. I'm also really glad to get outside of the coastal road. The coastal road it's really beautiful and scenic in some spots, but in the parts where there's just a bunch of trucks, like giant trucks taking up both lanes, it can get really stressful just because they're always passing by and their horns are really loud. So I'm really glad. Look at this, like we don't have any traffic for this road, and I imagine this road isn't gonna get busier the further along we go. So really excited that we get the road to ourselves. We can relax, have a nice peaceful ride. One mistake that we made yesterday was, I think with our nutrition, we didn't eat and drink as much as we should have. And we stopped for Nuoc Mia, the sugarcane juice. And normally we stop and we'll get one and then we'll just continue our ride. But we stopped and we got extra for our bottles. And I think just from going from a really hot, super humid state with our water bottles being just normal room temperature, and then drinking like 3 iced sugarcane waters, that kind of messed with our bodies a little bit, made us a little more dehydrated. So we're gonna try and drink more just plain water today. We'll also mix in some other like sports drinks and stuff occasionally, but I think for the main thing, we're gonna do water. Yeah, that beeping, those trucks, it's crazy loud when they're right next to you. It shakes your whole body. The other thing that was surprising, wow, those birds are crazy loud too. The other thing that was surprising was the lack of convenience stores. So we're used to cycling around Da Nang area, and we're pretty used to, we know where everything is, where all the bakeries are, where all the convenience stores are. So we can always find food. But one of the reasons why our nutrition wasn't that great yesterday was because we kept searching and trying to find like bakeries or convenience stores, because we didn't want to stop at a restaurant. And there's plenty of like hot noodles and like those kinds of restaurants everywhere, but we didn't want to go to a sit-down place. We just wanted to grab something and go. And I don't think we saw a single convenience store during our entire ride yesterday. And when I say convenience store, I mean one of the bigger brands like Family Mart and 7-Eleven. In Vietnam, the big one is Winmart, and they're usually everywhere. Even in Thuong's hometown, she's deep in the countryside in a way smaller road than a lot of the roads that we were riding on yesterday. And she's got one right in front of her house. So I was expecting there to be more Winmarts or official style convenience stores, and we didn't see a single one. So that was really surprising. There's a lot of smaller, like mom and pop style convenience stores, but their selection is usually really bad. They just have a few drinks. They don't really have many good food options, unfortunately. So it's better than nothing. We stopped at a few of those to get some drink refills, so it's good for that. But for getting other food, there wasn't many great things there, unfortunately. So we found a convenience store at the beginning of today's ride nearby our hotel. We stocked up on a few extra things, and we got some chocolate. We should probably eat that right now before it starts melting. We also stocked up on some bananas. You can see Tung's got her banana in her pocket. The other thing we've learned that's been really nice is this face mask. So you can see Tung's completely covered right now. It covers her neck and everything. These are really good. I thought they'd be hotter, but when I first started riding it with myself, it wasn't too bad. Like, I can breathe fine. And actually I feel cooler just because of the extra shade it gives me. So we've been riding with these. It also gives a little bit of an air filter. We sometimes ride with our masks when there's a lot of trucks or if the road's really dusty. And this sort of helps with that a little bit too, I think. So this has been a really positive piece of kit. I'm really glad that we brought these. So how are you feeling, Tunchan? Are your legs sore from yesterday?
No,
No?
I'm feeling good. I think the first day my leg will be hurt, but no.
Good.
I think I get stronger.
It's because we stay low heart rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried very hard yesterday to keep everything under control, so we didn't push ourselves too hard. And especially the last like 20 minutes or so, we really cooled it down and just rolled into the hotel. One other thing we got to be careful about today is there is a small chance of rain at different parts of the day in different areas. So when you're riding around the mountains, it's really random, but you can see we got a pretty big storm looking cloud there, but pretty isolated. Blue skies over this way. And I don't see really any other storm clouds, but we got our rain jackets, everything ready to go in case it does start raining. But for now, we'll enjoy the hot sun, the 35 degrees Celsius, and we'll check back in a little bit. We're about 50 kilometers into our ride, and we almost made it to our rest point at the restaurant, but we ran out of water and it's way too hot out, so we're taking a little break here. Found this little shop. So we got some water and some Revive, which is a carbonated sports drink. A lot of the sports drinks here in Vietnam are carbonated for some reason. I don't know why. And Tung's cycling computer said how hot?
The motor is 47.
47 degrees. Crazy hot.
Yesterday just 44.
Yeah, it's hotter today in the mountains.
Yeah, in the mountain.
Less wind. Yeah. That was a nice little quick break. So we got our drinks. We're gonna head to the restaurant. You can see we got the climb just up ahead, a few kilometers. So we tried looking on Google Maps before starting today's ride to see if we had some food options before the climb. So it looked like there's a decent, just normal restaurant around that area. So we're gonna continue riding over there. But for the most part, riding in this area from the coast inwards into the mountains has been really nice. There's not been too much traffic. We've been going through some smaller cities and smaller villages. We've been riding through a few smaller towns and villages every once in a while, and then it's just countryside in between. Mostly just rolling hills like this. And although it is hotter today, it hasn't been horrible because there are some clouds in the sky that have been blocking the sun every once in a while. And we've got a lot more trees on the sides of the road, so we sometimes get some shade cover. Not much, but a little bit is better than nothing. But it's been really scenic. The traffic hasn't been that bad. There's been a few trucks here and there, but nothing that bad. And we get all these beautiful mountain views just surrounded We've been passing by some rivers too, so it's a really scenic area. I really have been enjoying this ride. We'll see how our feelings change once we start the big climb. We've been doing a lot of rollers, so we've already climbed 300 meters today. And yeah, the climbs aren't too bad on this bike, but definitely a lot more tiring than the road bike. And just, yeah, up and down, up and down. Better than constantly flat, especially with the views. Oh yeah. Oh, these speed bumps are nasty. Just beautiful back here. Shade cover's on the wrong side though.
Wow.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. We're just passing a bunch of different little rivers like this. Very beautiful. Reminds us a lot of the cycling in Japan. We had a lot of rivers like this where we used to live over there on some of our old cycling videos. It reminds us of the Yahagi Dam ride. Another little kicker. Tuan's pulling away this time to show off in front of the camera. This is interesting. They got a little shade cover for the vans over here. All these downhills have been a really nice break. We got a bunch of schools. We've been passing a bunch of school kids out today on their lunch break. We got some like wool or something in the ground here too. Hello. So we should be coming across our restaurant here pretty soon, hopefully. We finally made it to our rest point, Tuang's favorite part of the ride.
Yep.
We've got our food. This is actually pretty similar to the same dish that we had last night for our dinner at the hotel. This is chicken and rice, it's a pretty main staple in Vietnamese restaurants. Pretty simple, so we just got our rice and chicken, some extra vegetables, so nothing too complicated. We'll get our carbs, we'll get our protein. We got some extra pickled vegetables and some soup.
Egg soup.
Egg soup, ooh, I like egg soup. And we got a whole jug of coconut water.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really nice.
Yeah.
It's my first time seeing them served in a picture like this. We got the guard dog over here. Waiting for our scraps probably. Gotsosama deshita. You didn't finish all your rice? What's wrong?
I'm full. I'm sleepy.
Sleepy. Yeah. They got some hammocks over there, so we might go take a little hammock break. And I think we're going to take a little bit longer of a break because it's about 1 o'clock right now, so peak time of the day. We're going to just get a little bit more rest in before we start the climb. We've got over 1,000 meters of climbing and then more like bigger ups and downs after that, so we still got quite a lot of climbing to do today. And we don't mind riding a little bit later into the evening when the sun starts to set. So as for the other side of the restaurant, this is pretty funny. This is, I think, the first time I've seen a bench press in a restaurant. But yeah, I guess you can get some reps in while you're waiting for your food to come. And the total for our meal here, for our 2 plates of chicken rice, our double coconut water, and the Coca-Cola was about 130,000. So only about $6. Awesome deal. Food was pretty good. Nothing too spectacular, not too strong of a flavor, but nice and simple, perfect for riding. Enjoying the perfect life. Hanmoku no incho wa? Yeah, I have a feeling if I sit down on the hammock, I'll fall asleep right away. We're finishing up our little hammock break. Did you enjoy the hammock, Jun-chan?
Yeah, relax. I want to sleep.
I want to sleep. So tomorrow we're going to be taking a rest day. We'll be able to sleep in tomorrow, catch up on some sleep. The first night I was just too excited, making sure, like worrying everything was all right and we're ready to go. But anyway, we're refueling all of our bottles for the road ahead. I'm not sure how many stops we'll have on this mountain, so we got 2 bottles of Revive, the carbonated sports drink, and 2 bottles of water. And we're also gonna grab a little ice cream before we go, or I am. Tung says she doesn't want any. So we got, this is the taiyaki here in Vietnam. Those of you guys who watched our channel in Japan know our favorite rides were taiyaki rides. Taiyaki is an awesome Japanese snack. It's normally like this, a fish waffle with the red bean inside, but this is the ice cream version. So it's basically a waffle cone and it's got the red bean inside as well as some ice cream. So luckily this is a pretty popular snack here in Vietnam, so we can get it pretty easily. So I'm gonna try and cool down a little bit more before we start this brutal, long climb. Oh, this one's got a coupon. So there we go, our fake little taiyaki. We missed the real thing. They actually have some like kind of fresh-ish taiyaki places here in Vietnam, but it's not the same. There's a place right by our house, so we go there sometimes after a ride. It's still good because we get some carbs and it's still okay, but not even close to the same level as the real deal. But ice cream is a different story. This one's pretty good.
Iceman.
We put on a bit of extra sunscreen. I imagine we're gonna get baked going up this hill. Hopefully there's a little bit of tree cover, but we're not sure. We'll see as we go. Anyway, let's
go. Let's go. We can do it.
Wow, we were getting pretty spoiled in that shade. It is still ridiculously hot out here, and we're literally starting the climb already right out the door from the restaurant. Blue skies. I wish there'd be some more clouds by the sun. We're gonna get baked. Luckily, I copied Chun-chan. I got my face cover on as well, so that's definitely helping. Looks like they're cooking some tires on the roof. Not sure why they do that. Just beautiful out here. Wow. There were a few large trucks that also passed us by the road while we were eating at our restaurant, so we do know we got to be careful. There's definitely some like way extra over large trucks, but overall the number of traffic didn't look that bad, so I think we'll be okay. All right, here we go. Climb time. Tung's favorite time after food time. Climb time. Not intimidating at all. Just a giant mountain right in front of us. Tung's cycle computer says 45. So yeah, we'll try and keep it a slow pace though, keep our heart rates down. Should be all right as long as we keep drinking. The climb is off to a pretty good start. It was really hot in some sections, but thankfully we've got a few shaded areas here and there that we've been hopping between, and it's just night and day when we're in the shaded area versus the bright area. So far though, the climb is averaging about 5-6% gradient, so it's not too bad with our gears, but there were a few sections where it kicks up to 9% in some of the corners, but these long hot sections are, I think Chun-chan's enjoying them. Beautiful views already. Able to look down in the valley down below. Well, our wish came true. It started raining. Tung was asking for it, and luckily we started to cool off quite a bit. It started to get pretty shady as we made our way up halfway point on the climb. We still got a bit of ways to go, but we're gonna chill out here for a little bit. Hopefully the rain will cool down a bit, but we got our rain gear in case we need it. We got really lucky. We saw this place about 200 more meters when it started pouring, so we sprinted to make our way over here. All right, the rain started to settle down, so hopefully we're clear to go. We got our rain jackets on, and we're gonna get back out on the road. That rain got pretty crazy for a while, and I'm gonna take off my good microphone just because I don't know when it's gonna start raining again, so we'll just be filming on and off with the phone and GoPro for a little bit until we know for sure it's dry. But we're pretty lucky right now. It's nice and cool. I didn't think I'd feel this cool during today's ride after some of that heat we were experiencing. We're currently still only at about 800 meters. And I believe the top peak of where we need to get to today is about 1200. So I still got 400 meters climbing to go. Whew. But we just had another nice break. We got some snacks, some gummy bears, some Snickers, Coca-Cola. We're charged up with carbs, caffeine, ready to continue. Are you happy it rained, Tung?
Yeah, I feel better more than hot weather.
Yeah, this is a lot better right now. But let's hope it doesn't rain too much more. If it stays nice and light, I'll be pretty happy. Tung found a rainbow. Did that kid just say bicycle or let's go? Getting toasty again on the climbs. It's cooler, but we still feel that humidity. Making pretty good pace though, now that Tung got a nice little break during the climb. We've been climbing for a good hour and a half already. There's the rainbow. Gorgeous scenery up here. I'm so excited to finally experience some of the Central Highlands here in Vietnam. It's one of the areas I've been really excited to explore. And I had no idea about Mang Den until just recently when we started planning out different route options. And I'm really glad to see that it's only a 2-day cycling distance from Da Nang. 3 would probably be a safer bet if you don't want to kill yourself with long distance on the first day like we did. 3 days would probably be a lot better pacing, but I'm really excited to get there and see what it's like. Totally different scenery up here in the mountains. We're starting to feel pretty good. We've just got our last little bit of climbing here, and then we're done with the main climb. And then we still got about 35K of rollers to get into the city, but at least the big climb's almost done. Finish line in sight. All right, guys, that was a pretty intense last hour of our ride. After we finally crested the last big part of the big main climb, getting up into the Mang Den area, we still had a couple pretty decent sized rollers. And unfortunately, with all of our breaks and hiding from the rain and our slower pace, we ended up running out of daylight for the last hour or so, but it wasn't too bad. We had our lights. The problem was it was pouring rain really hard. So not only was it dark, we were dealing with crazy like flooding style conditions, but for the most part, there wasn't much traffic on the road, so it was pretty safe. And once we started to get closer into Mang Den area, they started to have some like lights on the roads, and the rain started to stop for our last 15 minutes. But man, am I glad to finish this ride. I will say this is definitely probably my most memorable ride here in Vietnam. We had beautiful sights the whole day, and we went from crazy hot in the beginning, over 40 degrees Celsius, to gradually getting cooler, finally getting some shade with the clouds, and then pouring rain and starting to be a little bit cold even. By the end of the ride, I was starting to get pretty cold because the pace that I'm pushing and the pace that Tung's pushing is a little different. So she's pushing in kind of her hard zone, and my heart rate was kind of in my recovery zone, so I couldn't get my body temperature up high enough. But anyway, we made it to our hotel, and I'm in the probably one of the world's worst rocking chairs. But let me show you guys the hotel real quick. So we ended up splurging with a pretty nice hotel, and this one's gonna cost us about 2 million. We're staying here 2 nights, so a million Vietnamese dong per day. So about $45 a night, so a little bit expensive, but this place is quite cozy. It's all wood interior, and that's pretty new for Tung. She's never been to a place like this, so she really likes the vibe. And it's also Tung's birthday coming up next week, so I figured I'll help motivate her for this trip with at least one of the hotels being a nicer one. So this will be a pretty nice experience. We're gonna relax tomorrow. So we just got back. First thing we did was rinse off the bikes to get some of the nastiness off of them, wipe them down so they're nice and clean. We still gotta clean the chains, but I'll do that later. I'm pretty tired right now. So we hopped in the shower and washed some of our kits. This place is a little interesting because it's kind of like a triangle, so the outside walls are more of a diagonal kind of shape. So you can see that here on this side. And this one's actually a 2-story room. We got the bed upstairs. I haven't even gone up there yet, but we got this nice relaxing living room area. Everything's kind of all over the place because we're just got in here, undid our luggage, took a shower. Tung's out getting some dinner, so hopefully she'll be back here pretty soon. Here's the little rocking chair I was using. And here's the outside. We'll probably do a full video in our video for tomorrow. We're doing just a random relaxing day, exploring some of the nearby areas around here. And I'm really excited to see what this place looks like during the day. It's not too populated of a city yet, and the area we're staying in is just gorgeous. So we got our own nice little private picnic bench out here in front of our apartment. I'm just amazed with the temperature out here. I've got my long sleeves on. It's actually kind of cool, so I'm really grateful to Tung for convincing me to bring the extra long sleeve shirt. I'm really glad I did. I didn't think I'd be this cold tonight. Let's go check out the upstairs. I haven't been up there yet. I gotta be careful that I don't hit my head on these. I don't think this is foreigner-sized spiral staircase. Yeah, everything's wooden up here. So we got this little table to store stuff here. This little place to hang our clothes. I do like the wood smell in here, the fresh wood smell. This is connected to the fireplace downstairs, but I'm pretty sure it looks like it's a fake fireplace with all the gaps in it, just decorative, but still looks pretty cool. And over on this side, we got our 2 beds. So we usually share a bed, but sometimes it's nice to just have a bed to yourself, especially after a long bike touring day. So you can just relax and you get plenty of space to spread out. And, ooh, we got a balcony out here as well. So we're getting our money's worth. Oh wow, this is actually huge. I guess it's covering our picnic table on the bottom part. This is a really cool design. So they've also got a cafe here, and there's a couple other rooms like ours over there as well. Here we go. This is probably what it looks like, but I think most of the places it's a separate room in the bottom and a separate one in the top. Maybe only some of them are connected like ours. All very cool, minus the karaoke party over there. You can never escape it. Tung finally made it back. Otsukare-sama. She got a bunch of food.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Pork.
Ooh.
Grilled pork.
Grilled pork.
Yeah.
Of course, Tung got the meat.
Yeah. Of course I have. And
Ooh.
meat and jasai vegetable.
Meat and vegetables.
And meat and egg.
Egg. Oh, perfect.
Right.
It's like we're home.
Yeah. And it's rice.
And rice.
Yeah, white rice.
All right, so before we finish the video, what do you think about today's ride?
I think no bike trip anymore.
No more bike trip?
Yeah, no more bike trip.
Why?
This is the last.
Which was the hard part?
Cycle hill climb.
Yeah.
I think it's okay for me. Zukri no bored Mondai night.
Mm-hmm.
But the weather, I'm not like cycling under the hot weather.
Yeah, the sun was way too hot today.
Yeah, and I feel I'm
Headache?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under the sun.
Yeah. Later when the shade, it was nice, but then it started raining.
But after, the first 2 kilometers,
Yeah, it
I
was
feel very bad.
Yeah, first 2 kilometers very bad.
But after that, the cloudy and have white wind.
Wind?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah, and then the rain. You like the rain? Okay, but it was a beautiful ride.
But yeah.
Yeah, and we're pretty excited to check out Mang Den tomorrow.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's eat
Let's
and go to sleep.
go to sleep.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. A big thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Thanks to your guys' support, we're able to continue filming videos like this, and really glad we finally got to do this tour.
Yep.
So stay tuned, subscribe, and see you in the next video.
Bye.